everyone, I'm Brad Nelson, and Evan Irwin told me that I get to co-host the show with Gerry. So it's not Gerry TV anymore, it's GerryTV. So let's get into it, huh, Gerry? And today we're going to be talking about a couple interesting things in the Magic community these weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about is all the Delvers.
There's a lot of them.
All of them.
And they're all flying home with little trophies.
Yeah. This last weekend, Delvers took home the Magic Online Champs 3. It took home GP Salt Lake City.
GP Turin,
and SCG Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
All 4 constructed events over the weekend. All 4 took home with 4 Delvers in their decks.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's getting to a point where you have to ask yourself, like, when does this become a problem?
Yeah.
You know? Like, when does it actually prove itself as a format-defining thing that is just not good for the game?
Yeah, I think this weekend was the weekend. Because last weekend I was already kind of getting a little skeptical with how many Delver decks were in the Invitational.
Mm-hmm. But you're like, oh, it's just one tournament. Like, all the good players are doing well, obviously, you know, because they're all really good. And they all chose Delver because it's a blue deck, basically. Yeah. So then you're like, well, maybe it's just skewed. But then, no, you go to a Grand Prix in the U.S., a Grand Prix across the ocean, basically a Magic Online Grand Prix.
Kuala Lumpur 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like all over the place. Delver is not only like doing really well, but it's just winning too.
And the craziest part about it is all these decks are different.
Yeah.
They don't know, everyone's running different swords. They don't know Probe or Thought Scour. And they don't even know Honor the Pure and Tangible Virtue.
Yeah.
If they want to be running Captain, if they want to be playing Lingering Souls, if they just want to be playing Invisible Stalker. There's all these different versions of this deck, and they're all winning. Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest thing is Delver ties them all together.
Yeah, of course. Like, I think all these decks would be reasonable in their own right without Delver of Secrets, but the fact that you have Delver, you just get to play it on turn 1. If you flip it, you know, you have like 20 to 28 things that flip it depending on the version you're playing, and that just leads to a bunch of free wins. So it makes your tournaments a lot easier. And I don't know, I think you could just like get rid of that, make everyone have to play fair, and like these decks would still exist. So what is it about Delver? Like, why do you think that it's, you know, making all these decks so good?
It's blue. I think that's the biggest thing, is that blue shouldn't have access to these like early pressure spells. Yeah. Like Delver and Geist and Snapcaster Mage. Like all the other colors have to fight fair. Like you have Stormcroak Noble and you have Champion of the Parish, where, you know, it's not like their end game is that great. Yeah. Where Delver still has Snapcaster Mage and Swords as their late game.
Moorland Haunts give you a bunch of creatures.
And all the tempo boosts that the equipment give you in the late game. So like you have these Vapor Snakes that help out your early turns, and you have these Moorland Haunts and these Swords to help out your late games. And none of these cards cost 4, and they're all so super powerful. So when you're playing a Humans deck, yes, you have Champion of the Parish. Yes, it might be able to attack for 3 on turn 2. But you still have to play like Hero Blade Hold, where if in this format, if someone deals with your hero, the game's over.